Hey, so when you pull the game up for playtesting, you're going to want to just go right into play. I'll show you the other tabs just if you're curious, but right now they don't do a whole lot. So the player profile here eventually will give you the option of adjusting your decal, but for the time being, it's just going to use your Steam tag, so no settings to change there. In the actual settings tab, same thing, a lot of information that's pre-populated for the time being. No real ability to adjust any of it, so I wouldn't bother going in there. So when you jump on here, you're going to see the play colony match, and you're going to see the play classic match. Classic match will be local matches or any sort of virtual LAN setup. Doesn't have a lot of utility for most players, and honestly, it's not something I would spend any time doing. It's entirely possible we take it out at a later date. I just know personally, I love with classic RTS games being able to do LAN setups with friends, and so we've kept it in there for the time being. But for the play testing, you're going to want to jump into the play colony match. Click this. As you can see, we've got some servers live right now. Most of these will be developer servers. Some of them you'll be able to join, but they're going to be buggy. The build that you have may kind of function with the server's build, but in all likelihood, it's not going to work well. And so if you wouldn't mind just jumping into the most recent playtest version that's available. So right here you can see August playtest version 2 is the most recent playtesting version available. And so I'm going to want to click on that in just a moment. So with the player count, you're going to see that we've got these show 0 of 16, which is probably accurate, and then these show 0 of 0, which is not accurate, as you'll see in a moment when we join the server. So we're still finding ways to effectively get that player count to show the number of concurrent users while also adjusting for the number of users that are, or players that are alive on the server at a given time but logged off. And so sometimes it works well and sometimes it doesn't. Hopefully by the time you're playing this, we'll have those playtest servers showing an accurate number of players. Day over here is going to show you how many days since inception. So this will go up to 90 days and then the server will terminate. But it's quite likely that when you play, the server is just a few days old and we'll be rotating off servers as the playtest for each version concludes. So right now, it's in most cases 1, 2, 3 weeks before the server actually winds down. So we jump over here, click August playtest version 2. So just, one click, it's going to auto join when you do that. The message you get will depend on whether the server is having to wind up or not. So right now it says pending, please wait. So it's quite likely that the server is actually alive and it might be a more nominal join time. If no one's actively playing on the server and hasn't for a few hours, it's going to take up to 4 or 5 minutes in some cases to load. That's just one of the trade-offs we had to have with our server setup, was having a lot more of it load on demand. As player counts increase, that join time will shorten